Hey guys, how's it going? In this video, I'm going to show you how we can turn on depth of field in Twinmotion. This will give you a really nice effect when you're doing kind of close-up renders. And yeah, just to create better renders really. I'm going to show you. It's going to be pretty brief, this video. But first things first, whoa, you want to be in your, whatever model you got, whatever model you want to render. Hopefully you know the basics of Twinmotion. And if you don't, I do have videos on my channel on how to use Twinmotion. So this is a little outdoor gym I designed on Brighton Beach. So you have the infamous i360 over here, if you know what that is. But first off, I'm going to just show you what it looks like when you don't have your depth of field turned on, so your defocus. And down here are scenes. So these, if you know anything about Twinmotion, you know that you save your scenes here. So these are kind of the render views that I want to capture. And I've also, just to let you know, I've got the quality turned down on my preview, and that basically helps it run a bit quicker. If you have it on max settings, it can lag your computer a bit, so I kind of normally run it on a medium setting, and then the renders will output as full HD quality. So straight off the bat, you can see, so say this view here, this is a standard. I haven't really adjusted anything really. I think the camera might be slightly adjusted, and including the focal length. All you need to do is you need to click on your scene, and then you come onto the right and you should select the camera button. Once you click on camera, you want to go down to depth of field. So at the moment, our depth of field is turned off, so there's no defocus. So if I rendered this now, everything would be basically in full focus, which is good. It's good for certain things, but when you're doing close-up shots, the realism comes from when you have things out of focus and in focus, because that's how kind of like modern cameras work, or SLRs. You will get some defocus on the subject and the target. So all we need to do is we need to click enable, and you can see straight away we've got a really soft focus on this character here. And so basically it's out of focus, closer to frame, and the further we go back, the more in focus it gets. And you can actually adjust this here, so you can adjust the focal distance. If I do it really close, so this is tiny, so this means like basically it's only in focus, like just right in front of the camera, and then you can gradually adjust it and things will come in more focused. You can also adjust the aperture, so that affects kind of like traditionally like a normal camera, how much light will come in. So if you lower the aperture, you're going to get a better defocused effect. So I tend to leave it on 1 when I'm trying to achieve these. Bokeh shape, this is kind of like, I'm not entirely sure what this is, to be honest. I think it's like how the light like refracts in the lens, but I could be wrong on that. So if you want to learn more about that, ask someone else. But this tool here is probably the best thing to use. It's called the Pick Focus Autofocus tool. If I click on that, I can then set where I want my camera to focus. So if I want to focus on the back of this guy's shirt, I'll click there, and you'll see that the focus has been brought to the foreground, so we can see this guy is now in focus. But then saying that if I wanted to, focus on this other guy over here, I can click over there, and it will bring the focus point over to the distance I wanted. If I wanted to focus on this thing miles away, I can click on that, and it will focus on that, but it means you get more foreground blur and distortion because that's focusing really far away. So yeah, that's kind of how you do that. Sometimes you might find that you're not getting the desired effect, and that can be because your lens. So if I just create a new scene here, so we've basically duplicated the scene. I'm going to go into my camera, and I've changed the focal length of the lens. So if you have quite a fish-eyed lens, so something like with a small focal length, you'll see that basically the depth of field effect doesn't really work. I mean, it does when you're really close up, but say here, if I want to recreate what I just did initially, I'll click on this guy, and all of this kind of still seems to be in focus, and that's to do with the focal length. So if you increase this, you'll basically exaggerate the defocus essentially. So if I now try and reposition this, and if I click on our guy, try and pan out of the way a little bit, you'll see that we got like we can really get this defocus effect happening, and that's because the lens has a larger focal length. If we like max it out, I mean, this is going to be really distorted now, but you'll be able to like focus on this guy and nothing else. I do recommend doing like you know, longer focal length lenses when you're doing kind of architecture and things like that, because it gives a way more flatter feel to your images, and it doesn't have that distortion of like a fisheye lens. So I do recommend using like larger. This is probably a bit extreme. You could probably go to like a, I don't know, maybe a 50mm lens and zoom in. You'd probably get a good view. But yeah, so that's kind of how we turn on the defocus. Just using that pick focus point. And then when you export the image, you'll have that nice depth of field. And then yeah, you can choose where you want to put it. So you can put it over here or wherever you want. You know, you can go do it in the middle of the bar, or on the back of your guy's head. Cool, so that's it, a really quick video on how to do defocus. When you export your thingy, it should look great, and then you can adjust it however you need to. Yeah, that's kind of it for the defocus. I'm going to be putting more videos out on Twinmotion. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. I've also got a full tutorial on how to start using Twinmotion. It's a really great rendering software because it's free, so any designers out there, if you 3D model, you can import your stuff into Twinmotion, and it's free to use, and it's actually really good. It's not as like detailed as something like Vray or other rendering programs, but it gets the job done really well, especially on like larger scale projects where you want to put loads of characters in it. It's really good, so I highly recommend it. But yeah, I'm going to have more content out on my channel, so subscribe if you want to stick around. Other than that, have a good day, wherever you are. I can't speak. Yeah, peace.